Hello, hello, let's get ready to rumble. So guys, grab your favorite drink. I've got a nice latte here, decaf latte, because otherwise it would be far too late for that for me, and I'd be staying up the whole night. And let me know where you are checking in from, and I will dive right in with some specific dating stories. That was some feedback that I got on the video that I posted about my experiences dating in Mexico, is that I didn't go into as many nitty-gritty stories about specific people as maybe some of you guys would want. It was a little bit of a struggle for me knowing how specific to get versus because there are a lot of top level things to get into, but then of course the specific guys that I dated. And of course I've done my best and will continue to do my best to keep the identities of all these people secret, or not give that away, because I'm not really trying to exploit my dating life, but obviously this is a topic of great interest to a lot of people. So yep, that's why I'm sharing these things. So wanted to say, let's see, go back to where you guys are checking in here. Hello, Sergio in Chicago. Hello, Sarah and Senor Flipper in New Mexico. FTG in Chicago. George Jetson in Indiana. Crow Raven, San Diego, and many, many others. Oh, we got Stacy from Ontario, Yvonne from Washington State, Tamur, hopefully I said that right, from Austin. Awesome, you guys. Thank you, everyone who's joining the stream, and I'm going to get into some stories. So, first one that I wanted to share was the time that I went out with the guy, and he brought another girl to the date. This one was interesting. We'd been talking for a while, and this was going to be the first time that we were meeting up. It was in somewhat of a group setting because we were going to the vineyard, so I was bringing a friend. He said he was bringing a friend. Based on the verbiage of it all, I got the impression that it was somebody he'd known for a long time, maybe even a family member, like prima, or kind of in Mexico, everybody's sort of a family member, kind of, or extended family. So that was the impression that I got. Quickly though, I was picking up the vibes that she was not that to him. She wasn't just a friend. And so then of course, girls talk. I think we had both gone to the bathroom at one point, and then we were like, so how do you know such and such guy? And both of us were like, oh, wait, he said that you were just a friend. Oh, he said, wait, what? And then it was basically the exact same situation. We both were under the impression that this was kind of like a date. And he also on that attempted to kiss both of us. And honestly, I think that he thought he was going to get away with it. But it's girls talk. And then the funny part about all of this is she and I are still really good friends to this day. So that was the best possible thing that could have come out of that. But that was definitely the first time that that's happened. And just man, I gotta share something. So one time I was wondering, you know how women have their uterus and their reproductive system in that area? I always wonder, what do guys have in that spot? And I finally figured it out the other day. It's the audacity. That's what they keep there. They keep all their audacity. I'm just kidding. I didn't make that up. I didn't think those things, but I did see a TikTok about that once. Say a little hello to some more people that are hopping on. Hello, Renee from British Columbia, but in Grand Cayman. Wow, okay. Malcolo from Scotland. What time is it there? Let's see. RJ, hello from Omaha, Nebraska. Wreck-It Ralph, how's it going? I am doing fabuloso with my decaf iced latte. By the way, feel free, guys, if you have any specific questions that I didn't answer in my dating video or that I'm not answering so far here, feel free to drop them in the chat. Yeah, Hannah says, wow, we brought a girl on your date. Quite audacious, yes. I was kind of okay, I don't think I misunderstood this, because we had been talking for a bit and then finally we're meeting up, and it was you know, yes, in a group setting, but it's not like unheard of to have a date with others around. But then just that it went down like that, I just was like, wow. Thank you, Missy. It says, you've been very brave, young Jedi. That's one word for it. Yes, bold. Bold is a perfect word for that guy. Just after midnight in Scotland. Okay, so it's not too bad. It's 5 p.m. here in Querétaro, Mexico. Hello, Tina in Mérida. Hello in Tall Pines in Colorado, and thank you. I actually had to curl it today because the under layer was curly and the top layer was like, nope, we are not doing that perfectly straight, so it just looked odd. Okay, I'm going to share another story that I have. So I have notes here because I knew I was going to forget it. Okay, someone in my last video asked, why did I not mention guys being late? And that was just a complete oversight on my part because that is a sort of well-known stereotype of Mexicans for a reason. In fact, in my family, on the Mexican side of my family, we joke that it's MST that they go by, and that's not Mountain Standard Time, it's Mexican Standard Time. So yes, many guys that I went out with have been late, including one. Probably the worst offender was this guy who had kids, and it seemed like every time we were supposed to meet up, something came up with his kids. Like he had to go buy diapers or something would come up, and it wasn't like, oopsie daisy, I'm 15 minutes, 30 minutes late. He'd be like 3 hours late every single time. So on that note, I've actually had some people ask, would I ever date somebody that has kids? And while I'm not completely opposed to that experience kind of made me realize that, and I mean, of course, part of this I knew before. When kids are involved, they are the priority, but it just felt like completely always 100% of the time at the expense of my time or various things. So I'm not closed off to it, but I would just, I don't know, it would have to be a different dynamic because like 2 to 3 hours late or more every single time is like, that's just ridiculous. And there was also another guy, same guy who catfished me. He showed up, I think like 45 minutes late to a breakfast date on a Sunday, and he said there was traffic. And it was like, bruh, it's a Sunday. You could just say you were running late and sorry. Let's see here. Christy says, I got asked to dinner, but he never gave a time to meet. I was his second choice. Aw, that's sad. That's really horrible. Yeah, if there's not concrete plans, or even like if the guy doesn't confirm the day of, I'm just gonna assume we're not meeting up and not go because I don't want to waste my time. And I don't have a car right now either, so that would mean like paying for Ubers there and back to the place. Lots of people, by the way, were like, why would you ever get in a car with with guys from Tinder, the guys that you don't know? And other thing that I want to comment on that is I am always sharing, I've told this before, but I'm always sharing my location, my live location with 2 different people, and both will not, like, they always know when I'm going on a date, where I think I'm going to be, or well, not that I think, where I'm going, and then the time frame. And then if they don't hear an update within like 30 minutes to an hour, then they'll call, and so I feel safer that way. Debbie says, we always tell the Mexican side of our family that whatever the event is actually starts 30 minutes earlier than it really does. Still doesn't work though. Yeah. Yeah, pretty much. Like if you want the party to start at 8, you should probably tell people 6 p.m. or something like that. Thank you. Karma Dispenser says, I deserve better than a man who will be late. Yeah, the current guy I'm dating is pretty punctual. Because that is something that bothers me. I mean, there's reasons why people can be late, and I'm very understanding of that. But if it's like a regular thing, then that's just a huge lack of respect for my time. Code hungover. The guy that was late on a Sunday could be, or he was dealing with his catfishness. I don't know. Dana asked, did any of them lie about being single and were really married? Not that I know of, but I did have a couple that lied about single because they're and were in a relationship. Married, no, but in a relationship, yes. As it was the case with one certain guy who was in a relationship with at least 4 other women. I don't even know how you managed that, but that's what he was doing. Yeah, this is Alexander the Great. This is correct. Some people try to date when they don't have their own life together and they want to bring you into their shitstorm of a life. Yeah, very true. And it's sometimes hard to tell. Some people are very good at putting on a mask or putting their best foot forward, kind of, and you get sucked in and then figure it out later. Is there something I will miss about Mexico when I move to the US? Lots of things. First thing that comes to mind is food. Mexican food is amazing, so I will definitely miss Mexican food. Fab asked, not in a bad way, but why would you date a person with kids when you don't want any? Not only that, but why would you want that baby mama baggage? The situation with that guy, he was widowed, so although there's a different type of, like, I hate saying baggage because it's like we all have these things in our life, but different type of stuff that came with that. It was just one of those things where I was considering it, and I don't know. Good question, and honestly, that's why I would be very wary of getting in a situation like that in the future, because that isn't what I'm looking for. Not that I have any problem with kids. Kids love me, honestly, and I think it's fun to be around kids sometimes and, you know, play and act like a kid, but it's just not what I want in this life. Maddie at Secret Service, yes. People who know my whereabouts, bodyguards lurking around every corner. Well, Renee says, what good is sharing your location when you die within that hour? Amstergal says, doesn't matter, don't get in a car with strangers. Yeah, I don't know. I probably won't do that going forward, and of course in the US, I don't even feel like that's a thing anyway, so the guys don't come and pick you up. Nobody's commending me on not having them pick me up at my actual house. I'm just kidding. I don't know what this is about. Yeah, Carol says, this boomer really counts hours now. They're precious. Fools not allowed. So true. Life is so short. You know what? I've referenced this song a bunch of times recently, but Smash Mouth, Smash Mouth is the band All Star, where it's like, the years stop coming and they don't stop coming. And like, that's so true. Sorry, I said that wrong. The years start coming and they don't stop coming. It's like super true. Wow, time flies. Gina asked, what is catfishing? A catfish is, this is my chair, you guys. Not me farting like everybody thought, honestly. Catfishing is where somebody online misleads people with pictures that are maybe like them when they were younger, or from angles that are deceiving, or even sometimes it's using somebody else's identity entirely in the hopes of continuing conversation or conning the person into meeting up with them. Maybe the old daddy on the patio says, I will never find someone as wonderful as him, or maybe I will. It's a tall order. Literally, because my dad is tall. I don't know why I'm not tall. In fact, I think of my immediate, not I think, I know, of my immediate family, I am the shortest one, 5'3", and my dad is, Dad, you're 6'2", and my sister is, I don't know, everybody's taller than me. All right, I do have one more story to share, but I was trying to dive into some of these questions here. Hannah asked, am I currently dating a Mexican? How will that work when you move back to the US? So I had brought this up in my email newsletter, which, by the way, if you have not subscribed yet, is that? Yeah, okay. Make sure I was actually posting the right link. If you haven't subscribed to my email newsletter, there it is. I send out one like every week or 2 weeks. And so in that I shared that I am currently dating a Mexican guy. How will that move when I go back to, how will that move? How will that work when I move back to the US? I don't know. We're taking it, like, just gonna see how things go, because as I've already explained, he and I have already talked about, I don't think long distance relationships work. Certainly not international long distance relationships. It just makes things, just adds an unnecessary element of difficulty to, like, relationships are already difficult enough. So we'll just have to see, because I do really like him, and I think it's ironic that I had put that out there, that kind of to the challenge to the universe. If I'm not supposed to move back to the US, then you either need to put an absolutely I cannot pass it up business opportunity in my path, or, you know, the love of my life needs to show up. And I really just didn't think either of those things were going to happen. So, but it was a challenge, like, if this is the wrong move, please let me know. And I had met this guy before any of that, but I had decided for a couple, one reason that I didn't think it was going to be the right fit, and I don't really want to get into that because this is now my current actual dating life. So I don't want to, like, I'm not trying to exploit my dating life for the sake of, you know, views or something. So, but basically I saw a different side of him eventually, and now we're, like, giving it a shot. But I don't know, I don't know what it's gonna look like going forward. We'll just have to see. Largo the Alien, thank you for joining the chat and for the very generous super chat. After the main breakup, you know who, did you take it a bit slower going on a date for the first time? Yeah, I didn't date for a while, honestly. And because I felt like there was just way too much that I needed to heal from and to figure out, like, who I was as a person again and regain my independence, and just, like, I don't know, it's kind of ridiculous. Like, I was sort of, like, scared to do basic things at first because it was such a intertwined relationship that I had that I didn't do things on my own a whole lot. So even that was like, I knew I needed to process through a lot of things and figure out, like, who is Maddie again. Current guy said, what did the current guy say when you told him you were leaving Mexico? He was shocked, like legit shocked. And at that point I had a couple times to practice. So I tried to tell my friends without just, like, bam, this is what's happening, I'm leaving. We weren't like together at that time. We were kind of doing the friends thing. But it took him a bit to process it, but he completely understood where I was coming from, and, like, he's incredibly supportive. So he wants what's best for me at the end of the day, and if that's what it is, then he supports that. Everlasting says, I bet all of Maddie's dates were chilangos. No, I did do a breakdown in the last video. It's linked in the description. All my pie charts and graphs that people commented on, I think 3 were from Mexico City, or 4, maybe 5. I don't know. Go look at that video. I forget how many. This is why I write things down, because I can't remember them. Subliminal lime. I've always picked up dates. What are y'all talking about? Are you talking about the fruit? Is that the type of dates you pick up? Yes, thank you, Rugged Ralph. If you're enjoying the stream, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe. You may have noticed if you can't comment, it's because I have it as subscribers only can comment in the live stream. So please do that and gong that bell. Christy asked, 3 hours late, did you actually wait all the time for him to arrive? Well, so he was in a nearby city, but that was an hour away. So I was there already, pretty much, like, either I turn around and I've wasted 2 hours of my time, or wait. So yeah, but that one didn't last very long because I got tired of that, like, right away. Listed in the South says, watched a video about dating in Mexico. Loved how you broke it down. I am so glad to hear that, and thank you. Tamara asked, do they speak enough English to have an English-only speaking relationship? So, like, when I was first starting to date, I didn't feel like I didn't have enough confidence to have only Spanish relationships, but I think somewhere in the last, like, year, I would say, I'm like, no, I can do this, and I got over that fear, and so they've pretty much all only been in Spanish from then on. The current guy, I'd say it's like 98% Spanish. Sometimes he understands English, and he speaks English as well, but sometimes I'll need to say something in English, but he always responds to me in Spanish. And I like it that way, because otherwise I would get lazy and I would just speak in English all the time, because it is still obviously easier. That's my native language. Nazareth says, and time goes faster when you get older, and you just have to let the wind blow the glitter off your shoulder. Not my glitter! No! Jason asks, is Tinder culture the same in Mexico? No, and I go into this in more detail in the video that I just referenced, the one that I posted about all my experiences dating in Mexico. Especially in the way that I don't, well, I'm not on Tinder right now anymore, but I didn't receive, like, explicit messages from guys ever. Like, they're much more respectful and seeming, like, interested in interested in pursuing a relationship that's not, like, right off the bat, just, like, bam, sexual. That's a huge difference. Thank you for the compliment. I wish my whole hair did what the underside of my hair did naturally. Actually, it's also not curly today. I don't know what's going on with that. Well, I curled it, so it's curly, but... missed that, sorry. Oh, Blargo the Alien says, someone tried to catfish me, but asked them to post a specific picture of them doing something unique in a short amount of time. If they fail, they get blocked. That's a good one. That is a good tactic. Aw, thank you. Lydia says, so those guys lost because you're beautiful and have integrity. I try. I feel like I'm a very honest person, because I just don't see the point of being anything else. Missy says, I really love the little orange car. Me too. I didn't want to sell it. I don't know if I've shared this or not, but I saved up to buy a car for 10 years. I started working when I was 16 and saved up for 10 whole years. And so when I was 26, I finally had enough money to buy a car, and it happened to be that car, and I was just, like, obsessed with it. The color tangerine splash pearl, and yeah, I really loved it. But as I've shared many times, but I'll say again for anyone who's new here, I had to sell it because my residency was changing from temporary to permanent, and I couldn't nationalize it, so because of the year and the make of the car. Womp womp womp. Somebody asked me this recently, like, what work did I get done on my teeth? Nothing. They're just my regular teeth. I've had braces. Then I brush and floss really well, but these are literally just my teeth. Oh, this is so sweet. Mariah says, I just wanted to say I was spinning, just constantly following every Gaza-Israel update, and it was extremely heavy, obviously, so finally after the first 6 or 7 days straight of that, I put on one of your videos before bed, and holy whoop, it was so peaceful and calming, so thank you. Oh my gosh, that just makes my heart so happy. I'm glad to provide a little positivity. Pepe says, you know, there's Mexican guys in the US too. Right you are. We'll have to see. Like I said, with this current relationship, I don't know where this is going. It sucks to find this or have this great connection and then just be like, wow, now what? Because I'm not stopping my plans to move back to the US. And it's way too early to be thinking, well, we've had some conversations, but it's too early to be making, like I said in my email newsletter, just big life-altering decisions about things. Hamster Gal, what is a Chilango? That is somebody from Mexico City. Also to listed in South. Somebody from Mexico City. And gong that bell. Let's see. Yes, thank you all for also answering. Person from Mexico City. Yep. Hidden Abroad asks, when you're back in Phoenix, have you heard of Walter's Warehouse? It's a pretty cool place if you like techno. That sounds familiar. I used to go to raves, so maybe I've even been there. Where is it? Hat Power said, somebody's 20 minutes late. I send a text. At 30 minutes I leave. I already know I don't want to put up with them. Yeah, the problem is, and like I said, with the one guy, it's an hour away, so it's like, well, do I want to waste this hour that I've already driven here? And then another time it was like, well, I'm already here. I've already, paid for the Uber. I was actually thinking if he didn't show up, I would just enjoy my own breakfast there. I have no problem eating alone. Sometimes I prefer it. Rosalba asked, did I ever feel like I was in a job interview during a date? I wouldn't say so. I feel like either it's really one-sided where like the guy was just talk the whole time and like just talked. I don't remember ever in the US, like I don't think this is a Mexico thing, but I honestly don't remember going on dates where the guy just like straight up talked the whole time. So it was either that or really nice back and forth. So I didn't feel like it was interviewee. Are the humans? My monkey says, are the humans complaining about the lipstick? I saw one of your videos. Yeah, I wore darker, this is like a tinted lip balm that I'm wearing right now. It's like Burt's Bees, I think is the brand. But I wore a darker like lip stain and people just did not like it. And so I just, not that I let comments affect what I do for the most part, but if there's something that I can do to avoid getting comments like that, then like I will do it sometimes. And that was one of those occasions because it's just ridiculous. Hat Power says, that's why I never like coffee dates. Feels like a job interview. I'm not sure where I fall on do I like coffee dates? Do I not like coffee dates? Like it's less commitment to I don't want to say commitment, but it's like you're not committing to as serious of a thing. So if it's not a good vibe, then you can get out of there faster. But at the same time, it almost shows like if that's all the guy is willing to like invest in who could potentially be his future wife, then it's like, I don't know. Starbucks interviews. I bet coffee shop employees just like see all of it. I mean, I was a bartender, so same. I saw so many things. Yeah, you know what's really interesting? Sorry, I should read this because I know some people are like listening in the background. George says, I think it's interesting that your current guy got a second chance. That's sweet. So how this happened actually was I was in an experience with two guys and, going to an activity, and I saw what one guy was like in comparison to the guy that I was currently, the guy that I'm currently seeing, and it was like, wow, just night and day difference. One was a complete asshat, total douche canoe, and I was not having fun at all, and then this, guy that I'm currently dating comes, and I had an absolutely amazing time, and he just, in many ways, throughout that experience, showed me who he was, which is an amazing person. And it's not like I didn't think that before. It was just this one thing. I know I'm being kind of vague about this, but again, this is like real life, real person. I'm not trying to give like too many personal details away, which I feel is like disrespectful and exploitative, and I don't want to do that. Gary, thank you. Blessings and protection to you as well. Mucho amor. Henry, thank you for the super chats. And buenas tardes to you too. Can I talk about a story that was really creepy while dating in Mexico or in the US? Any stalker stories? I would love to hear a great story. Okay. A story that was really creepy. Probably the guy who he wanted to take me on some type of an adventure out of the city in some like cool nature spot, because I say I like nature, and I do, and I like hiking and that type of thing. But I made the joke that like, oh, well, you know, I don't want you to harvest my organs, so let's do something in the city. And we still ended up doing the picnic thing, which I know, I can already hear it. I can hear it already. Like, this is why you don't get into cars with guys that you don't know. I know, okay? Mistake and lesson learned. But so he picks me up and we go out to Amealco, and it just like, as we're starting to leave the city, I was like, oh, where's this restaurant? It's like, oh, no, I brought like a picnic and we're going to this place. And it did turn out to be like a really nice date, but that was one of the guys that did not, he just talked the whole time, hardly asked me a single thing about myself. And then also I was like, I was pretty clear that I didn't want to leave the city. So then I stopped talking to him, stopped responding, because he would just blow up my phone with messages and long voice notes and stuff. It was just all bad. Stalker stories. I feel like I only have one stalker. It is technically somebody I've dated for a very, very long time. Yeah. Other than that, creepy stories, I'll have to think on that more. That one was a little creepy though, because I was like, I feel like this guy is just trying to test my boundaries and see what he can get away with. And so that was why that was only a first date, because like obviously I didn't want you to harvest my organs, and thankfully he didn't take both kidneys. He only took one. I'm just kidding. All right. Mondragon Clips, thank you for the super chats. Do I see myself living in Mexico permanently once I come back, if I decide to come back to Mexico? I don't know. I am interested to see what I think of living in the US again. It's obviously been many years, 6 years. I want to be around my family for a while, and I'm very, very excited for that, because that's definitely the thing I've missed the most, is being around my family. But I have a feeling I'm also going to be like, wow, I missed this about Mexico. I missed this. Like, sort of that graduation goggles thing where you look back fondly at all the things that you weren't appreciating while you were in the place. So only time will tell, though, if I decide to come back. And who knows, the current relationship thing, that could be a reason I would. Tamara, this is a good question. Was I dating any of the guys that were in some of my videos? Ow. I just hit my funny bone on the table. Yes. I'm just trying to think of what all guys. I'm going to say, well, because it's not like any guy that's ever appeared has been somebody that I'm dating. At least 2. I think at least 2 guys that have appeared, but not all of them. Yeah. Matthew says, tell him to move to Arizona. I know, but the thing is, it's so new. Like, I couldn't possibly ask somebody to uproot their life. Yeah, it's just too new. Yeah, I have, and within Mexico, it just doesn't work. In fact, I think it just is like a free pass for people to cheat, because they get away with it easier. But that's been my experience. I have never cheated in a relationship, but I have had guys cheat on me. Interestingly, guy I'm dating went to that concert. I did not, though. He invited me back whenever, long time ago, but I was like, it's not like one of my favorites. I should have gone, though. It would have been so much fun. I wish I did. I wish I had said yes. So true. Diana says, one day at a time, I'm free to change my mind at any time if things shift for you or not. Life is fluid. You are intelligent with an abundance of common sense. Thank you for the compliments. And so true, as I have done. I have moved so many times in the past couple of years. Like, moved to Mexico once, and I'm moving back, and I could move back here again. Like, I am the master of my universe. I make up the rules. We all make up our own rules to our lives. That is such a good point. Alexander the Great says, guys trick you by making you wait and showing up late. It's called the sunk cost fallacy. Super true. Super true. Like, and it's exactly how I described it. It's like, well, I've already driven this long, or I've already waited this long, or whatever. But it doesn't make me, I mean, maybe it'll make me stay in that moment, but it doesn't, like, not gonna be like, well, I'm invested in this relationship, because I just think it's that disrespectful. Especially when there's lies involved. I'm like, don't tell me there's traffic on a Sunday. I literally live here. Hat Power says, I told somebody I hated coffee dates once, and he said, well, I'm not buying you dinner. What a DB. I was going to suggest a walk in a park or some other more fun activity, but nah, hard pass. Yeah, if you let people, they will just tell on themselves. Lots of times. Yeah, so Ali says, have you been in a long distance relationship? If so, any advice? Don't. I don't know. It takes a lot of communication all the time, and like, but see, it's never worked out for me, so I don't even feel like I could give advice. But like, what I did was trying to call a lot, FaceTime, text, send, you know, I don't know. I feel like you need the in-person connection element. At least I do. Please do. Feel free. Douche canoe. Oh, Dad doesn't like it. Not supposed to say those things. I try to keep it family friendly on here, but sometimes I do want to say certain things. Long story short, thank you for the super chat. Do I lower my height requirements as being in Mexico? I wouldn't really say that I have height requirements. Like, yeah, maybe no, I don't. I feel like I'm beyond the phase of thinking like, my guy needs to look like this. My guy, I want some. No, it's so much less physical these days. And like, yes, there has to be physical attraction, but not in the way that it's like, must be over 6 feet tall, must have a six-pack, must blah, blah, blah. It's not like that. Not for me. But yeah, I mean, Mexican guys are not known generally for being very tall. So if I did, that would seriously limit the dating pool. Henry, thank you for another super chat. Since we're getting close to Halloween, can you talk about any weird paranormal or unexplained experiences, especially while living alone? Oh no. Oh, I don't know. The other day I shared part of a story of how in high school I saw there were many ghosts or people things that I saw throughout high school. I don't know why specifically high school, but I started saying that story, and I swear to goodness, out of the corner of my eye, I saw a shadowy figure, and I had to just shut up right there because, I can't even, nope, sorry. I don't know if I could say this. There was one time, it's making me like red now because I get flustered thinking about this. It scares me. At one time, I went into a house here in Mexico, and it was doing a look around the house for some people, and I just felt the heaviest energy, like somebody had smothered me in a weighted blanket, and I like felt like it took effort to breathe in every time, and then as soon as I left the house, it was like, oh, I could breathe again, and it was the weirdest thing when I'm like, I feel like somebody died in there or something, and their energy is just like angry or heavy or I don't know what, but I later did find out that yes, I can't remember if it was one older person or a couple, but that's one that comes to mind. And now I can't talk about this anymore because it's gonna freak me out if I see anything out of the corner of my vision. Oh. Yeah, I know. Like I said, I know, don't get in the car with strangers, don't go into the woods. I didn't think that's what was happening. I told him in a joking way I didn't want him to harvest my organs. He just did it anyway. So yeah, red flag. My dad says I stalk her quite often. It's true, he's the #1 fan. Respectfully yours says, love from North Carolina. Love visiting all the areas with you and wish you all the best. You're a breath of fresh air for this old lady. Oh, thank you. And I like North Carolina. I traveled to Raleigh and Greensboro once years ago by myself and like had a year of traveling, and I was just traveling all over the US. And North Carolina is so beautiful and everybody is so kind and polite, and like it was a lovely trip. A lovely trip. Mundo, they PJ. Do I have a plan for managing my allergies in the US? Yes, basically I will continue what I normally do, which is that I don't eat a lot of processed foods, or I hardly eat sugar, anything with sugar at all, ever. And then of course avoiding my allergies, anything that I know like adds inflammation to my body, so nothing with high fructose corn syrup or aspartame, sucralose. I will continue to monitor my heavy metal levels because I know I'm particularly sensitive to heavy metals. I mean, no human heavy metals are not good for anyone, but I think I maybe in particular am more sensitive than some. Exercise, getting enough sleep, just trying to avoid any toxins like I already do, probably just basically continuing to not use like harsh chemicals that I in cleaning or things like that. Angie asks, have any of the guys talked about you publicly after a date? Porque está en Instapat, tengo un break hasta hacer la salsa verde. I love the Spanglish. Not that I know of. I don't think that I've given anybody a reason to. Like, I'm not a catfish. I'm very honest and straightforward. So, yeah, not that I know of. And I'm also very clear about how, like, if I get the impression that I'm being, like, shown off because it's like, oh, YouTuber, and they're, like, posting me or something, then I just cut it off, like, immediately, because you could just feel, or I don't know, maybe at this point I've been doing YouTube for so long, I can just tell when that's, like, what people are in it for. So, yeah. Oh, on this topic, thank you, JT. It says a little off topic. It's actually on topic now. I think your honesty and sincerity serves you well on YouTube as well, rather than the contrived content for clicks. Yeah, I just think authenticity is the best policy, and I feel like it would be exhausting to be somebody else, or try to be somebody else, or to keep up with stories or lies or whatever, you know? Like, if I wasn't telling the truth, it seems like more work as well. But that's not the primary reason. I just think being authentically yourself is the best thing you can be. Aloha says, my dad is not stalking, it's good parenting. Depends on how far you take it, though. My dad says that Diego should get credit for dating 5 other people at the same time. It's kind of a talent, in a way. You could say that. It's, yeah. Just depends on what you would label as a talent. Is douche canoe a talent as well? Because, okay, I'm gonna stop. Yeah. Did you pick up my drift? It's pretty obvious. It's pretty obvious who the stalker is based on posts, screenshots, stuff like that. Yeah. Oh yeah, stormtroopers spilling the tea. Yeah, that's a sad part. Looked charming, cute, and he does have game. That's how like the 5 women, obviously, but that was probably the biggest money suck relationship too. and it was such like scope creep how it happened, or I don't think scope creep is the right phrasing, but like frog in boiling water, you like don't notice that it's happening until you're like, wow, I've spent a lot of money on this person, and for what? Like, yeah, so just lessons. I mean, you know, everything in life is a lesson. Here we have JB saying long distance doesn't work when you're in your 20s or 30s. So then does it work after, and why? And GTR says long distance does not work. Debbie says if the relationship is meant to be, if both people are committed, it doesn't matter the distance, especially if it's temporary. Well, yeah, I mean, if the distance between you is temporary, that could be true. How do I know he's talking? Screenshots, and many examples. It's just like he's not even trying that hard to hide it. Interesting topic. David asks, why is obesity such a big problem in Mexico now? Processed food, sugar. I mean, I'd be interested in other people's perspective on this. I know, like, for instance, when I arrived in Mexico, it was like Coca-Cola, for instance, still had real sugar in it. And now, like, I think in the past, like, 2 or 3 years, it's mostly, even their original is changed to high fructose corn syrup, like it is everywhere in the world. So maybe it's things like that. But also, like, yes, some of Mexican food is pretty healthy, but there's a lot that isn't. Like, a lot is deep fried, red meat, corn-based, sugary. So if Mexican food is more like indigenous, or like, you know how in Oaxaca it's more like related to its indigenous roots, then I think it's healthier, but not all Mexican food is. Do not tell me this. Take it back right now. Are you serious? No. We're gonna just take that off the screen. I'm pretend like that didn't happen. My Lele is guarding me, if anything. She is an angel, not of the dark side. Teresa asked, do you feel Mexico has more spirit places, that type of energy? I've been to a lot of places in Mexico that I feel like are energy vortexes. Is that the plural? Vortices? That sounds more right. Anyway, with an energy vortex, and so, yeah, I think so. And because a lot of Mexico is still so natural, it's not developed like a lot of the U.S. is. maybe we could talk ghost stories, but when I'm not alone, I could hear some people now being like, but you're not alone. The ghosts are there with you. Don't tell me that either. Hot Powers asked, did you do a van life type trip in your U.S. travels? Or is that maybe would I? Such a huge community and a lot of women, lots of YouTube channels to learn from too. I'm not totally opposed, but I don't feel like that is particularly my cup of tea. But I don't know. When I get my RAV4, I haven't yet. There's lots of rumors going around about me right now, but I do not have a RAV4. I have not bought a car yet. When I get that, it does have the seats that lay down in the back, and it's definitely big enough for me to like sleep in there. So even that could be maybe like a taste of van life, sort of hybrid-ish. Yes, Southern Arizona has so many beautiful places. Yeah, Arizona in general has so many places. I feel like people just think of it as like burning hot desert, which it is kind of in the summer, but not even everywhere. In the summer, it's not everywhere is that hot. I know, Spruceton. I don't know how to say that. I'm so close to 100,000. It's so exciting. Hey, can I ask you as a favor, actually, on this topic? Could you share just one of my videos, any of my videos, not necessarily this live stream, but like your favorite video that you've seen on my channel? Could you share it on your social media or with a friend and ask them to subscribe? Because I am so close to this milestone and I would love to hit it by the end of the year. So that would really help me out. Honestly, anytime I post a video, if you share it, that just helps get more people to see it, and it helps me grow my channel. So that's all helps me continue releasing videos and keeping this Maddie Gold thing, this Maddie Gold train moving along. I would really appreciate it. Kathleen, yes, I am. I feel like I've always been, and I've just learned more and more about it as I've gotten older. Oh, Leth says sociopaths date 5 people at the same time, maybe because they get bored easily. Maybe. I don't know if I'd say he's... I don't think I could say that he's that, but I'm sure... Well, I don't know. More people you can get money from, more people you can use. Yeah, I don't know. That's a good one. Like Judge Judy says, tell the truth and you won't have to have good memory. That's super true. Zach, I see your question, but I'm not gonna pin it because I don't want to feed into that more. Yeah. I wish that would just go away, because it's like, I want to move on with my life, and that is not helping at all. Did I get my house deposit back from my stalker? No, I have not. I have provided the audiobooks that were requested that supposedly... no, the answer is no. Oh, I'm so sorry. Marjorie says, I had some problems dating here. I found verbal and mental abuse has been quite intense. Sorry you've had that experience. I feel like that goes back to like that machismo culture thing where some, not all men, some think that they're superior to women and therefore can do whatever they want. Mundo de PJ says, maybe tortillas with every single meal doesn't help with weight loss. Yep, probably not. I don't know, carbs, sugar in general. Aaron says, I enjoy channel mashups. It's outside of the tone and flow of this live stream, but raising you star by singing, maybe I'm reading that wrong. By singing and cross-chatting with someone like Anne Reburn who speaks Spanish would be fun. Do you mean like in a live stream do a collab or just like collabs in general? I do like doing collabs. It's just sometimes hard to coordinate them and like have the stars align. But singing, maybe I can add that in. Sometimes I just feel so awkward singing because it's like, I don't know. I was never trained and I just, like it's something that makes me happy to do, but I don't know how to go about that. Yes, Russell says, hit that like button, give it a thumbs up if you're enjoying the stream. Almost 500 of us. Thank you guys all for joining. I think I had one more story that I had, ow, gosh, I keep hitting my elbows. Why? Oh no, I have it right here. Oh, this says, this is a crazy dating story. So, early on in my dating, I went out with this Colombian guy. He was the manager at one of my favorite bars, and for the longest time, I could not understand why there was this one server who literally treated me so horribly, would ignore me, wouldn't clear plates, or like wouldn't take my order, wouldn't deliver like whatever I had ordered. It would just sit there on the counter or whatever. And eventually, though, he's like, oh, that's my roommate. And I was like, oh, okay, so, well, like, what's, going on? And it's like, no, nothing. We're just sharing, a space, whatever, to cut down on costs. And no, in fact, it turns out that he was dating this woman, and she saw me flirting with him there. Like, obviously, I didn't know, so I wasn't trying to, like, rub that in her face or anything, but he lied to me, and I believed him. So... yeah, I was just going to his bar. This was, before I started my 2023 booze free. So that was an experience, and I felt really bad after that. Though not that I intentionally, again, I didn't know, but not that I was intentionally doing that. I was like, well, that must have been really hard for her to see because, she's like working, she can't get away from it. RJ asks, what parts of the world are you interested in traveling to? Maybe those places that came up on my DNA tests, like in Europe. That would be pretty cool. See what my Scandinavian roots are all about. Yes, Hidden Abroad asks, was it hard to find people to date in your own age in Ahik? I went there for a few years, loved the place, but seemed like everyone was very old. I didn't try particularly hard while I was there because I'm trying to remember the timeline. Yeah, because I was still dating somebody else, like long distance thing, while I was there. And then I did go out with a couple guys. But yeah, it is like, you know, an older crowd, more of like a retirement community. Wouldn't be impossible, but also the other thing, it's like very, very well known that guys from Guadalajara will come to Ajijic to have like an Ajijic girlfriend and then have their Guadalajara girlfriend, and that's how they keep their worlds separate because it's somewhat easy to do. So yeah, I didn't really make too much of an effort there. I will never pass up an opportunity to talk about my plants. So thank you, Anna, saying she loves my plant babies. They will soon be finding a new home with the guy I'm dating, because I can't take them with me. But I think he's going to love them. Yes, please do, Whitney. Like I said, it helps out my channel a lot, and especially, I don't know, if you could think of a particular person that would enjoy a video that I release, then that would be awesome. Even if everybody on here, 500 people, asked one person, I would be that much closer to getting to my 100,000 goal by the end of the year, because I'm currently at 95,300. So getting close. JT says, I think the walking checkbook risk in Mexico is high risk, maybe higher risk for men too. That's been my experience, and like, it's just, I feel like I get kind of awkward about money stuff sometimes, because it's just like, am I gonna sit there and argue with somebody over paying for a meal that, like, if I just pay it, I can just get out of this situation? But then of course people take advantage of that if it goes any further. I mean, after that one, you know, who we're calling No Wallet Wade in Mexico City, after that I was like, if that happens one time, then I'm like out. If you think I'm gonna be your little cash cow, then think again. Because I'm perfectly fine paying for my own meals, like if that's necessary, if it's like that big of a deal, but I'm not paying for like a lot in the relationship. Like everybody's portion of everything in the relationship. Know what I mean? Andrea asked, do I sell any merchandise like shirts of any brand that you've made? Not yet, but that is something that I'm strongly considering in the future, of having like a little travel pack of signature items. But since I have this move coming up, that's kind of taking up a lot of my time, so that will be in the future, hopefully. Yeah, that's exactly what he was doing. Colombian douchebag was parading me in front of her, sick guy. I truly felt so bad after that, because I was like, wow, now it makes perfect sense, but like, I just took what he said at face value. Silly me. Dude, I know. Hannah says, why do they call it a funny bone when it's not so funny when you hit it? I think it's because it's the humorous, isn't it? That's my guess. Javaholic, I have not dated in Chihuahua yet. I get this question a lot. Program persona, what's the best way to go about asking me out? Currently, I'm not single, or I'm not like dating anyone else, so there is no good way. You did decide to come in the live stream. Hello. Obesity is an issue in cultures that tend to feature tons of processed carbs, sugar and sodas, deep fried anything, meats, and everything that basically tastes best. That's pretty true. Oh my gosh. Thank you so much, because if my Lily moved, whew, I'm not kidding though. When I was telling that story though, like seriously saw something, My goodness, that was, my heart dropped. You know that feeling when you have that like adrenaline rush through your body? It was like, ugh. Thankfully I wasn't alone at that time because obviously I was telling that story to somebody, so. Blair asked, wait, are you moving again? What did I miss? Yeah, so let me see if I can go to this video in the chat because I explained the full thing in one of my recent videos. And it's not a long video. This is actually the shortest I've ever released. Let's see here. Here we go. That's the video that I explain about the move. This is true. Aloha says obesity is more prevalent in lower income neighborhoods and cultures because fast food is cheaper than buying healthy food. Yeah, and like also even like the oils that are used in like street food and stuff is lower quality oil, so absolutely. Thank you. And thank you about my plants and pitching my channel. And yes, this is essentially the summary, but if you want to know like reasons leading up to my decision to move back to Arizona, it's all in that video. Nice and condensed. My dad says if each person asked 500 of their friends to subscribe, you would definitely reach your goal. Yep, please do that. Why am I limiting anybody to one person? Tell your whole army. Daniel asked, any plans on doing any meet and greets when you get back to Arizona? I don't have any current solid plans, but I'm not opposed to doing that. I've had so many requests. Maybe, like we were talking about before, 100K meetup. That'd be pretty cool. Chelsea asked, do I have to get rid of a lot of my things in the move, or is it going with me? Yeah, I'm getting rid of a lot. I already, on my last trip to Phoenix, I took back 2 bags full of stuff, which was mostly like winter clothes and like my wardrobe and essentials, but anything that's not super essential, I'm having to get rid of because I have to fly. I looked at all the possible options of how I could go back, if like rent a car or a moving service or taking buses, and ultimately looking at the cost and stuff, flying seemed like the best choice and cost efficient kind of thing. I can't take everything. Oh, that's an interesting question. No one's ever asked me that. Mama Stroso, what is my favorite perfume? Currently, I would have to say Valentino's Donna Born in Roma. I love that one. And honestly, also one that I got from Dossier, I think is how you pronounce it. Cloud Marshmallow, Floral Marshmallow. I get compliments on that all the time. It's like super sweet and like candy, and I like doing that plus some other perfumes. I've started like increase my perfume collection lately. I don't know why I've sort of taken an interest in that, but Red Rollins says, if el hombre siempre paga en claro, es machismo? If the guy pays, it's machismo? I don't agree with that necessarily, but maybe I'm misunderstanding. Hat Bar said, the world's oldest and best diet advice from the late Joan Rivers. If it tastes good, spit it out. Jose, thank you for the super sticker. Appreciate it. You guys, stop! I'm gonna change my whole... How do I get her out of this? Now, see, this is prettier. I like having my Lately in the background. She's not moving. She's just sitting there, I promise. I hope. Yay, thank you so much for sharing my channel / video, whatever you're sharing. What is this about? Coconut oil? Thank you. Hannah says, what a great accomplishment to be closing in on 100K from where you started. Well done. Thank you. I have worked really hard on this channel, and starting from scratch was very intimidating to say the least, and it has had a lot of challenges. Great. Don't worry, the doll didn't move, but my plants did. Okay, that somehow I'm okay with, because they're already living, so. Jose says, if I go to Vegas, can I do a video with Norma? I don't know who that is. Probably some Vegas vlogger. Whenever, if ever I go back to Vegas, I think it would be really cool to do some collabs. Didn't I answer your question or no? I don't think I was offended. Henry, thank you for another super chat. Would I ever like to explore Isla de las Muñecas, Island of the Dead Dolls in Mexico City? A video of that place would be epic. I did actually go there, and it is in a video of mine. In fact, it was from Dia de Muertos last year. And I was hanging out with Nate, my twin. Nate, Spanish with Nate. Where is this video? So, here we go. And I don't know though, the one that we went to, there's a couple different ones, and there's one original, but then a couple like additional ones that they've made to just like take more people to. I found it very creepy, and not like, I didn't feel any bad energy there, because I think we went to the one that was not the real one, but it is really creepy, and I didn't particularly like it. Hi, Monkey. Thank you for the super chat. Says, keep up the good work. Thank you. I'm still, so far I have been hitting that goal to release one video, one video or have a live stream every single week. And coming up, I'm going on an adventure in Querétaro this weekend. Super excited, to 2 different Pueblo Mágicos. So I'm making a video of the whole thing, and it's somewhere that I've never been before. So it'll be a totally new experience for me. And I don't know that anybody that I don't know that I've ever seen any video be made on this place. I'm not gonna reveal where it is yet, but also because it's that's a safety issue. But oh my gosh, perfect. My dad has the best suggestion. What if I were to put all my plants in the blender and then feed them to my Lele doll and then smuggle my doll back to the US? That's genius. Why did I not think of that? Genius, I say. Ricardo asks, have I ever considered traveling to other Latin American countries? Yes, I would love to go to Colombia, for instance, Argentina. Yeah, I would like to, but with a travel buddy. It just kind of intimidates me to travel. I don't know, just travel by myself in general. I've been doing it around Mexico because I feel like I'm familiar with it and I know Mexico and it's been my home for years, so. But brand new countries, it's a little intimidating. Big black spider on my forehead, no! Spiders don't really scare me. CW, well, I'm not drinking this year, maybe ever in the future. I think I'm gonna continue my 2023 booze-free and just make it like my life booze-free. But mezcal, 100%, because tastes better, cleaner. I feel like it doesn't, like, in my experience, it's way more uncommon to get a hangover from mezcal than it is tequila. And I have a special love in my heart for Oaxaca, so yes. Mezcal all the way. Oh. This is so sweet. Oliver, thank you. Says, I see why your dates think you are exotic. You're a beauty in any country. There's a country song called She Don't Know She's Beautiful. I think I've heard that song, actually. Well, like I said, thank you for the compliment, or compliments, really. I had so many people push back on this whole exotic thing. Like, you are not exotic at all. There's Mexicans that look exactly like you. And I'm like, I never said there aren't Mexicans that don't have green eyes, blonde hair, lighter color skin. There are Mexicans of all shapes and sizes and shades and colors and everything, and Mexicans who are even like lighter skinned than me probably. But the number of times that I received comments on like, wow, your eyes, like just really, really focusing on the color of my eyes or my hair color or the fact that I'm a foreigner. Like I could tell either they explicitly, like that they outright said it, or for instance, when like somebody's pushing me on this and I responded to their comment saying like, it's okay to have preferences, absolutely, but the difference is when they're like, oh, I've always wanted to sleep with a white girl. It's like, ew, 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 ew. That's, nope, 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 nope. The important questions. Agenda Tony asks, is the earth flat or round? I'm going to say round, final answer. But this is funny too. There is when I went to Acapulco for the first time, I made this joke that was like, if you look far, if you look over there, because we're up on a cliff, or like a, kind of like, yeah, like a cliff looking out at the Pacific, and it was like, if you look off over there at the horizon, you could see the end of the flat earth. And I was completely kidding, of course, but because just the view was spectacular, and it looks like if there was such a thing as seeing the end of the flat earth, you would be able to see it from there, but it's not flat because you can't see the end. It's just, you know, but there were people fighting in the comments over this. Like, it actually is flat. I don't know. We'll see if there's gonna be people fighting in the comments about this right now. Ooh, love to hear it. iMonkey says, I got my temporary residency, quit everything, and I'm moving to Playa del Carmen, and your vids helped tremendously. Thank you, and you are welcome. I'm delighted to be a part of your journey, and hopefully you super love it there. Bring bug repellent and sunscreen. Julie asks, Will says, I love your videos, and thank you so much. I wish you all the best in your move. Do you think you may purchase a house or a condo in Phoenix? It is a strong possibility. Very strong possibility. Amy asked what happened with Trish. So you may have seen that we had done videos in the past. I had considered her my best friend for a number of years. And suffice it to say, the dynamic changed. I realized that either I had not seen who she was completely, or she changed as a person or something, and I stood up for myself in certain circumstances that I didn't feel okay being treated the way I was being treated, and ultimately we had a falling out. Thankfully, that was before we entered into a business endeavor together. Federico says, don't feed the dog because she's stuffed. Love it. I love it, love it, love it. NASCAR all out. Do I remember you meeting Say Hi to Matthew in Vegas? Yes, and there's a collab both on his channel and on my old channel from when we met. He's a super cool guy. Okay, Sara, thank you so much for the generous super chat. You're a kind, honest, sweet young woman who will find someone who treats you with the same respect and love. Everyone, please be kind to each other and treat them like you would like to be treated. That is the sweetest sentiment. So much love to you. Wait, there. My heart wasn't connected. And yeah, I believe that. We should just treat people how we want to be treated, or better. Treat people better than you would want to be treated. Like, put more love out there in the world. Love is free. Jose asked, why doesn't PayPal allow me to choose friends and family, only goods and services? I don't know. Maybe because it's associated with my business? I haven't ever sent money to myself, so I don't know how it looks. Sorry. Ooh, Angie says, with my pozole, I'm having a mezcalito with piña and jalapeno. Mezcalito piña peña. I love that. That's clever. Piña peña. Or is it supposed to be piña peño? Either way, I like it, and that is a great combination. Pineapple with mezcal and a little bit of spice to it. Yummers. And pozole, I am jealous. Let's see. I'm probably going to wrap this up soon here in like the next 15 minutes. So please ask your burning questions, your burning remaining questions, because I will be making din din for my guy. There's another rumor going around, by the way, that I'm not a fan of. That supposedly I said I don't know how to cook, and I do. I actually wrote a cookbook with over 100 original gluten-free and vegan recipes, and I've cooked many things over many years. Tonight in particular, I have a marinated chicken with that I'll be making with quinoa, a quinoa mix with vegetables and stuff of my own magic spices mix. So if we could just squash that rumor, that would be great, because I have taken a long time in my life to learn how to cook various things. So yeah. Ooh, Sebas asks, what Mexican pop music bands do you like? And once again, I will never miss an opportunity to say how much I love Reik. Jesus Navarro's voice is like best of all time, or GOAT, I should say, greatest of all time. But what other ones? I don't know. I just saw, I just went to Pulso here in Querétaro, the music festival, and I saw Sebastián Yatra, and I really, really liked him live. I like a lot of his songs as well. I think that's considered Mexican pop, both of those. Well, Rake is a little, he's had a lot of different, he's had a variety of styles. Well, they, not he. Sorry, I just focus on my favorite, Jesus Navarro. Mark says, you should really try double Maestro tequila. It's a little expensive, but it won't give you a headache. Plus, those Zonies will be impressed with your knowledge of tequila, where it's triple price in the US. Yeah, no, Maestro Dobel is my favorite tequila. I don't know that I've ever tried double. Oh, no, that must be what you're talking about. Maestro Dobel, yeah. That's my favorite. But I'm not drinking anymore, so I won't be probably not impressing anybody with any knowledge, because I wouldn't be bringing it up. Ooh, yeah, purple eyeliner, mascara, or purple and black eyeliner makes green eyes pop. Yeah, I used to wear eyeshadow all the time, especially, I had this one palette that was like lighter here, like white or silvery, and then purple in kind of the corners. And again, on my channel, people just don't like it when I wear more makeup for some reason. And I'm like, whatever, less work for me. I used to do like crazy colors of eyeshadow, always really like colorful rainbows and matching my outfit. Whatever colorful outfit I was wearing, I would match my eyeshadow. Amen to that. It's okay to wear whatever you want. Your life, your body. I don't know what that's referring to. Oh, yeah, totally. Evan says, I'm a guy, is it okay if I like wearing women's jeans? For sure, but good luck with that. I feel like men's clothes sizing is so much more consistent, and actually I hear all the time, and I see videos all the time of women buying jeans in the men's section because they fit better, the pockets are bigger, sometimes they're cheaper. So yeah, do whatever makes you happy. It's clothes, like you have to wear them all the time. We have to wear clothes all the time. Wear whatever feels best, most comfortable, best price. Like I like getting a lot of my clothes from the thrift store, because then it's already broken in, it's already shrunken, you know what the fabric is going to be like after it's washed and stuff. Yeah. Yeah, Brian, bye-bye to you too, who cares about dating in Mexico. Why are you watching? Just go watch something else. There's so much other content in the world. Yes, we saw you cook something. I made a disaster out of cooking pozole verde one time. So if you're judging my cooking off of that, then I understand why we all think I don't cook. Or not why some people think. But I'd never done a Mexican recipe, and I was told many times after that it was extreme, like, of all the Mexican recipes that I could have picked, that is one of the most difficult ones. So, Javier says, I'm surprised you can pronounce the letter Nye. I feel like I have pretty good pronunciation in Spanish. Oh, let me clarify about this. Amy asked, where can we get your cookbook? I wrote the cookbook, and it was a food blog, and like instead of going the route of having the cookbook published, I decided to put it all on a food blog. But unfortunately, that was costing me so much money every year for hosting, and I wasn't making anything from it. So at a certain point, I just had to like, I don't want to say cut my losses, because it wasn't like a loss to do it. I loved the experience, and I taught myself macro food photography and got really, really good at it too. But eventually I had to take it down. So you can't get the recipes anywhere currently because it was just too expensive. And I just, at the time, I feel like I'm so much more knowledgeable about social media and how advertising works and things like that. I would probably, if I ever put it back up, be easily able to cover the cost by just having like some banner ads on the website or whatever, but I didn't know how to do that at the time. So womp womp womp. Ooh, yes, we're talking about Jesus Navarro. That's such a great description, like oral silk. Like oral. It's funny because oral, O-R-A-L, is also spelled like that. So anyway, yes, his voice is so silky smooth. Peso Pluma or Bad Bunny. You know, somebody asked me about Peso Pluma, and I was like, I don't know that I've ever heard of that, but I think I have heard some songs. I don't know. Maybe I don't know, between the two of them. I don't think I could pick either. Bad Bunny, I guess, because I know more of the songs, but I'm not particularly like a huge fan. It's just like if it's on, I'll listen to it. No need for makeup when you can use filters. I suppose. I don't use filters though. My videos or anywhere, except like on TikTok. Well, I don't make TikTok video. I have a TikTok, but I don't make videos there. It automatically puts on a beauty filter if you record within the app, which I haven't, because I don't like that. I don't know. I look how I look. I feel like whatever, like my face or don't, just, it's whatever. Oh, wait, no, yes, I did make a delicious looking dinner. It was chicken. In my Ahihik, my day in my life in Ahihik video, you're right, forgot about that one. It was chicken with asparagus, quinoa, and goat feta from Galo de Allende in Ahihik. If you're in Ahihik, check it out, get that cheese, it's so good. Oh, I missed that, my mouth is watering. I did. That was the pozole one that I made funny. It was probably more humorous because I was just failing at the whole thing. All right. I've gotten so many comments as well on the whole dating thing of like, would I consider opening my dating age range? I've never said what my dating age range is because I don't think I particularly have one, except for like, the younger the guy is, the worse off. Like, I feel like my cutoff is 28 because at 28 they act like they're 21 anyway, or like less than that. But I also think when it comes to older guys, there's the whole like, there's older guys that I feel like just go after younger women because they're younger, not because there's any type of connection. So, Rake. Angie, what's the name of the group / guy? I said R-E-I-K. I'm sure somebody already commented that by now. Maybe? But yes, Rake and Jesus Navarro. Navarro, but he'll come up for Rake. Thank you, Ping says, I'm glad to see your channel is thriving. I'm sure you'll keep coming up with great content in Phoenix. I'm going to try. I still have that goal. I'm going to post one video throughout the end of the year unless something like crazy comes up, which not going to happen. I've got a content plan and lots of ideas that I'm very excited about. Oh boy. My dad says, don't forget to ask 1,000, not 500 like the last time, 1,000 of your closest friends to subscribe. Please do. Yes, like I said, that's probably the biggest thing you could do to help or support my channel is share videos that you like on your social media or even in like a text or tell somebody in person. And just like I said, if everybody asks one person to watch and then maybe those people ask other people to watch, it helps out a lot. Teapot, thank you for the super chat. Hope you'll do something cool for Dia de Muertos this year. I will, because my mom and her friend are coming into town, and so we're planning to go to all sorts of places. I think probably there's going to be like at least, they're coming for 2-ish weeks, at least 5 videos from that of places around like different states close, where maybe we'll go to Morelia, León, Guanajuato, possibly Hidalgo, definitely places all around here in Querétaro. So if you have any suggestions or any recommendations for me of things around Dia de Muertos that we should do or that would be fun or anything like that, then like please drop me a comment. I would love that. And for now, I think I'm gonna sign off to go get dinner started because my tummy's a rumbling, and I've got a cute guy who's expecting dinner pretty soon. So if you haven't already, please subscribe, and thank you guys all for watching and your questions. If I didn't answer something for you, leave a comment below this video and I will do my best to answer it, either in the comments or in an upcoming video. And gong that bell! I hope you all have an incredibly lovely night. Muy buenas noches, and thank you again for joining. Bye.